that should have leveled out the music some. Okay, I think that should have leveled out the music some. That's better. Okay, I think that should have leveled out the music some. That's better. For the background, I want to go ahead and put back in so that I can frame out the sides, see where that leads me. There. That's messages in the Discord. Got that set up. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna close Discord.
Hey, bro.
Fucking hell, you loud.
Yeah, I know, right?
It's like,
come on, man. My computer's like having a heart attack.
yeah, I just closed Discord entirely to save it on my end. Let me check and see. Could you talk real quick?
Yo,
Okay.
can you
My
hear me?
Yeah, I needed to see that my OBS was picking you up, and it is. So my live stream should be hearing you, and this live stream should be just sharing straight from my Medibank, same as my OBS.
Cool.
Okay.
I can hear myself though.
Oh, you can
I
hear.
wonder if it's just picking up on your shit.
It may be. Like I have
Yeah,
my.
like everything.
Oh dear. How do we fix that?
Oh dear.
I love it. And all
This
the
shit going on like YouTube or something?
It is currently on YouTube, yes. The live stream. I have it
Okay.
muted on my end,
Oh,
just so I don't hear myself.
oh, we
And
live?
oh yeah, no, we live, like currently. I've had it going for about 10 minutes because I had to sort out a couple of things like music volume, mic volume, screen capture, all that other stuff. I had an art scene tab in my um, OBS already, so I just needed to tweak some things.
Word. Cool beans.
Tasty fruit and funky chickens.
Shout out. Shout out, shout out.
How have you been this week, my friend? I don't know about you, but I have been.
Yeah, type shit. I don't know, man. I mean, you know how I am. As long as y'all good, I'm good. I don't know if I identify with reality too much.
Oh, this reality isn't really be a part of, but then I have to.
Like shoe world.
I literally have to remind myself to fix what's fucked up about this place.
Yeah, yeah. See, that's how I'm thinking. You feel me? Facts. Yeah, that's the only thing I should look for. I don't need anything else. It's like, but yeah, I heard about your pop.
Yeah. That was one that was expected, but it's never easy to hear that. And then hearing about my brother going and doing some
Fuck.
dumb shit.
Hell no.
Really, we just been trying to focus on our own work. We finalized the publication for Mama's Drop the Hammer this week, and a lot of my work has been focused on that. Like, I made the Etsy page on the website, which has product links. People can go a copy of the book directly from my website. So
Sounds ill. I fucks with it.
yeah, just been trying to help her stay focused.
But
and
like, you straight though? That's the real question. Like, how you feel?
I've had a time. It's been pretty stressful balancing like my own emotions and being like a guide, sounding board, and balancing for Mama in this because it was really stressful for her and like understandably so. I literally saw myself when I was building the website a few years ago, understanding that this is something that I had to do, but it was so frustrating because I had to do it. I wanted to do it, but I didn't understand what I was doing wrong. And it made me very upset and feel like I wasn't smart enough and wasn't good enough. And I had to take some time and work through my own frustrations, but I eventually did get my website built, and I'm actually very proud of what I have built with it. It's amazing. And I was really happy to be a little bit of a guide like that for Mama because I know how frustrating that is. And her almost 50 years old and has struggled for basically everything her entire life. We have a we have
Really,
our individual
ain't
plans.
nobody like. Damn, did the mic go out?
Yeah, I think it just like dead for a second. I don't know. It's been
Yeah, shit just cut off while you were talking.
like
Well, I'm glad that y'all doing y'all shit though. That's all I can ask for. Pretty much keeps me on my shit too.
and it's certainly not easy. Like imposter syndrome and getting discouraged and stuff. That's almost a daily thing. But I have to keep reminding her that
Hell yeah.
she
I mean,
she's made it through everything in her life so far, and like it hasn't taken her out yet. And I firmly believe in her and what she's created. Now I just want to see her have her win. I'm also looking for my
that's
own
good.
wins. I'm also looking for my own power and freedom and stuff. Like Mama, I know that I've never been away from my family for a long extended period. There's a huge aspect of development and like sense of self that can be developed while I'm here at her elbow. But it also
You know, in due
will
time.
give me more opportunity. Like exactly, like the entire process of this, she's had to use my laptop for writing it, and like this is her tablet that she bought, but she's gonna get another tablet, and I'm just gonna keep this one. And I'm not like upset or holding a grudge against her. I'm glad that she was able to use my resources, but like our days are so split to where I can only do work on certain days because she has deadlines on the book and all these other things. And it's that difficult balance that spiritualists and really anyone that practices any sense of self awareness, love, or balance comes into. When do you say no? When do you draw a line?
Right. It's
I'm
it's
super.
funny. I was talking to someone else about this shit, like being in weird dynamics and shit.
People, we find ourselves in dynamics that we think are like natural, but we look at it from the outside or we see that dynamic in someone else, and then you're like, wait, that's not exactly healthy or that's not fair to everyone. Mama was just because we share a room because she doesn't feel safe sleeping in the room with my dad. She was telling me last night how grateful she is for me helping her work through like PDF formatting and translating programs and stuff are wanting for her. She took a moment to express that gratitude, and that's not something that my dad do, even though I do it a lot to keep his wife, keep the house running. I'm not working a traditional job, so in most people's eyes, I'm unemployed and not doing anything most of the day, but that completely disrespects all the work that I'm doing internally, all the work that I am doing for not just my stories, but my business and other things, and the house itself. And taking those moments to
Right.
express gratitude to someone else for help or at least acknowledging what they've done, Try to express.
Yeah, but I mean, damn, it like it's like the mic keep going out or something.
And I think it's because like my computer has got like one, two, three programs open, plus it's live streaming directly, so Lenny might be struggling a little bit.
Mm,
I will upgrade you, my love.
it's all good. We gonna make it do what it do. But yeah, I mean, people gonna think what they think though, for real. So it's
I'm
just whatever.
perfectly fine being the
Fortunately,
villain.
y'all
So
just in y'all group.
I
Oh
have,
yeah, you already know.
I
That's
am
what we do.
I am definitely an Ursula in someone's story, and I'm fine with that.
Yeah, it's funny for me because so many people praise me all the time, but then so many people hate me all in the
Exactly.
same breath sometimes, and it just be funny. I'll be
Exactly.
like, word, damn, I didn't realize I had so much power over you, but cool. What else you gonna let me manipulate you for? Give me some more power, fuck it.
This is one discussion Mom and I have about the energy vampires in Hollywood and stuff. Like when you see like a celebrity and you direct your energy and attention to them, they are getting that physical energy off of you. And that's why there are some people like Paul Rudd that are 50 and look like he's 20. And then there are people like Jennifer Aniston that don't age like at all. And then there are other people that look completely fucking horrible because everything that they're consuming is energetic bile and offwash. And it's really disgusting when you
Yeah,
think
y'all gotta
about it.
put the cocaine down.
It gets really
Leave the
disgusting.
cocaine alone. Facts. Motherfuckers go to LA and just get high for real. Because it's a billion motherfuckers go to LA try to become an actor or some kind of fucking famous person. Basically go to LA to get fame and then just turn into a fucking crackhead essentially. So yeah, don't go to LA. That
Oh,
shit's sinking into
no,
the ocean.
nasty over there.
Shit's
I don't.
trash.
I am terrified of California.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I always used to laugh because uh, cults have been like a huge part of my life since I was young. And I just always think like, as many cults as I've been around, you would have thought I grew up in California, but it's even worse over there. Like every 1,000 feet, there's like a fucking cult somewhere. Like, damn,
Yeah, I think we just call those
y'all ain't even
churches
calling
out
me. I'm
here.
the cult master, man. Shout out to the churches though. Zombie cult.
Zombie, zombie. Speaking of zombie cult, I've been thinking a
Yeah.
lot. I've been thinking a lot about Enigma recently and getting into that story again. And I think it definitely shows a mirroring in my own healing because, of course, a lot of Enigma and Unity is based around the anger that I felt in school and society. Like, even when I tried to be what they wanted me to be, it wasn't enough. And I was always punished somehow for it and made to feel like I was in the wrong for simply existing or wearing the same shirt as another girl. And because she was more well liked or whatever, I was made fun of horribly that day. And I feel like I've been doing that escapism thing that I do where I avoid looking at the emojis and stuff, and I'm not blaming or shaming myself for that. I mean, good fucking lord, look at what I deal with in a day. Last thing I want to do at the end of the day is like, all right, let's open up a can of whoop ass and do some new trauma. But it is one of those things like I mention this particular song from Saint Finnegan all the time. Um, but there's one that talks about a young boy asking his father to help him face his shadow. And one of the lines that St. Finnegan has from the perspective of Baba is like, you can walk away if that's what you need, but inside of there is what you seek. Like, you can walk away from this, you can leave this behind, but the only way to ever actually get the peace that you want is to go through it. Looking in my Spotify so that I could get that actual.
Yeah, that's facts.
Oh god, my Spotify is a beautiful eclectic mix. It's the Inner Work
It's funny.
album.
You made a song like that before.
I think it's probably
Seemed like mental health is like coming up a lot.
Accountability. That's it. Accountability, courage. That's the song. I love that. Yeah, I mean, I literally have my mental health plushie over here, and he is inverted and angry, rightly representing how things have been. But you know, we're pushing through and surviving. We make it another day. I fucking love this framing. This shit looks cool.
Yeah, it looks nice. Right? Shit getting official.
Right.
Every time you do some new art, it's pretty much like they just get better and better.
Yeah, and like I know I trace for a lot of
Yeah, I'm
these.
starting to notice a theme though.
Hmm.
Shit, it don't matter. It's still getting better.
What is the theme that you notice?
Oh, the theme of like this whole month was basically like people feeling ashamed for some reason about shit that have to do with themselves. And I mean, I guess there's a reason, but to me, there's just no reason to beat yourself up. So to me, there's no reason. But I'm just seeing like people overcomplicating shit. That things are really simple, you know, especially like business. Business is not as complicated as people make it out to be. I mean, I always take it back to simple barter. I have something, you have something. Let's trade. You know, you got the money, I got the whatever the fuck that you want. Let's make a trade. Then there's like, well, there's this and there's that and there's this and there's that, and I'm like, well, what was the original thing that you were doing? You know, you added all this extra shit for what? You know, trying to do the monkey dance for someone that you don't even identify with 100% or if at all. And then I come to find out, oh, I'm identifying with this person. Like, well, there's your fucking problem. You identifying with something that you're not, and now you're here like trying to do this monkey dance for them instead of just staying true to the original thing. If you do this one thing, don't start switching up. That's how you confuse yourself. That's how shit ends up not going because you got 500 fucking different things going on instead of just focusing on what's the main thing. Okay, you need to make it accessible to the people of what the main thing is. Make it make sense to them. Tell them about it. You know, they know about the main thing if you're not even talking about it. So that's been like the messages that just seem to be reoccurring over and over again. Well, maybe it's me. Maybe I'm not explaining it well enough or showing that person well enough. Like, hey, you know, all this other shit's cool. It's fine and dandy, but you're just one human, so don't try to go doing all this other shit because you're just gonna be sitting there at the end of the day, like, I don't know, finding reasons to like hide or shame yourself or whatever the fuck that may be. But you know, simplicity is like really the theme. Really talking about
No, facts.
straight simplicity.
Agree with you. What I think a lot of people are experiencing is that analysis paralysis, and a lot of what caught me up when I started with the website and what caught Mama up with the publication here is that in their head it is this huge monumental task, and it's something that they themselves had never done before. So they immediately, if they don't have the ambition, confidence, and drive in themselves, they will immediately go and seek out and find someone else who has done it. But what worked for someone else will not work for you, and you won't get to learn from the experience as much. As well, by the way, like that thing worked for them because they had gone through all of the work to find what didn't work for them. And then when people try something that was suggested by someone else and it doesn't work, they either get angry at that person or degrade themselves. And it's very difficult to come back from a perceived failure. And I blame a lot of competition society on that. I blame that entirely because I remember in elementary school, I had like this professional fishing team or something. It was a South Carolina school. We had this professional fishing team come in and talk to the students.
Professional fishing team. That's cool.
Um, they come in and talk to the students about, like, you gotta drive and you gotta push and you gotta be better than the people beside you. And I remember just sitting there as like a 10-year-old being like, if I'm always pushing to be better than the people beside me, when am I ever going to allow myself to actually be happy? And that was too big brain for a 10-year-old to be thinking. But it's the constant comparison and then the self-degradation that comes from what we have experienced in this life. So what I think a lot of people struggle with is that getting back up again, is finding that strength to try again. Like my mama said when my brothers and I were little, like, you got a whole lot of quit in you. And that hurt some as a child, but I understand now a lot more what she meant. When something got hard, when something was harder than was natural for me, or like when you're a really smart person and you go on to the next phase of school and suddenly your same studying techniques don't work and you have to try harder or learn something new, your confidence is completely just shut down. And it becomes very difficult to want to try again. And so you have the people that jump from task to task to task, to hobby to hobby to hobby, to idea to idea to idea. And I constantly have to catch mama on this and bring her back and be like, that's a really good thing, but like, you can't do all of that all the time. And I think another part of it is survival mode strategy. People that are still in survival mode, always looking for another way to provide food, another way to provide shelter. And while those problems aren't as upfront today as it was when these habits were instilled in our biology, like, we're not running from saber-toothed tigers anymore, but there are fears and things that come up. And biologically, we have the fight or flight reaction, but a lot of people are stuck in fight or flight. And that does something horrible to your mental health and your sense of safety and security. Safety feels like fear. So you're constantly putting yourself in a situation where you're not safe, or you're not secure, or you're not giving yourself credit for the work that you've done because you're always pushing yourself to the next level. So I think one of the biggest issues is people don't allow themselves to learn from failures, and then they give up and rely on someone else because it's so much easier than pulling yourself back out of the mud.
Yeah, I feel you on that shit. I be thinking most of the time, well, first off, fight or flight, yeah. I feel like nowadays a lot of people just kind of bring it on themselves a little bit to be in fight or flight.
It's
Because
certainly
now it's
taught.
just, shit is way more complicated. Yeah, it's way more complicated now to provide for oneself if they don't follow the simple things. Like going outside and just planting a seed can't do that no more or whatever may be the reason for that. So they choose to engage in the corporate world or entrepreneurship, which like I said, I just always keep it at the simple basics. You have something, I have something. Let's come together. And the funny thing with that too is just realizing like you have your people. That's really how that always works. Unless you have something that everyone needs, you have to find your people. And a lot of the time, people are like whoring themselves out instead of just focusing on their people and thinking that it takes so many hundreds of thousands of people. We only really need 10 people to survive, 20 people to survive, to provide for yourself. In this day and age, you don't really need many because most
Certainly
people
not.
who are, yeah, hell no. But that's the thing, like people will be selling shit willy nilly and people buying nonsense. Like people are still cosplaying, people still go to conventions, people still listen to artists and have Spotify. People are buying nonsense still to this day. So to me, it's just
All
like
those things.
if there's people still, if people are still doing that shit, then yeah, definitely there's your people are there. It's just you got to focus on what those people even look like. If you don't never, see proof of concept, then you kind of just fucking yourself in the long run. And that's like the main thing that I'm seeing now when I do talk to people is they just have this idea and it's like, oh, I'm excited about this idea, and it's like, well, I mean, you are literally like a conduit, fam. Like it's not your only idea. You're like these type of ideas. If you're open and and you trust and you have faith and whatever it might be. Some people are spiritual. They can have that trust and that faith to let those type of ideas just flow through them at all times. But I understand with the fight or flight shit. But like I said before, I think now it's more complicated to provide for oneself in the context of that than it would be in older times where we did have to run from wild animals and shit. And 9 times out of 10, motherfuckers really wasn't running. If that's the food is coming to us. We need to, get into our natural human rhythms and get the food. But now it's like it ain't even saber-toothed tigers or whatever anymore. It's like, oh, I'm running from writing this thing, or I'm running from I don't even know, just anything. People get overwhelmed by anything now, and
Yeah, the
that
dangers.
energy. If go ahead, go ahead.
No, you good. The dangers are certainly different, and I think that's one thing that is underappreciated. Like going back to the mental health thing. Absolutely, we're not in as much physical danger as we were hunting and gathering, but the levels of dangers are different. We have societal dangers. We have dangers as individuals, people who are afraid to go outside simply because of the color of their skin or because of what gender they were born as or choose to identify as. These things weren't so much as issues in other places and other times, but it is still creating a strain on our people in our society today that is not being looked at and is not being appreciated or considered in the strain of like this world. Like one thing that annoys me a lot, and I'm not defending the new generation on this, there are a lot of them that are entitled shits, but like I'm 25. I'm 25 and I get very annoyed by people that are younger than me. But there are other people that I see that are genuine geniuses and so much potential there, but because of pharmaceutical companies fucking with our blood and bodies and brains over the years, autism and other things like these that are seen as issues or disorders are actually just the natural progression of bodies and brains that are becoming more aware. And because it requires a change, because it requires shifts that takes power away from people or takes understanding away from people, it's immediately like ostracized and downplayed and pushed down. Like, so if you do suffer from these things, in some families you're seen as a complete obscenity or this offensive thing. And they're literally just trying to learn how to exist in their bodies. And some people are having a harder time with that. And I think that's one of the reasons why I have to be here as the weirdo that I am. Like my character Riki here, who is currently being pinned by this hot guy. He is autistic, and his friends have learned to help him when he's getting overwhelmed, to push him out of the house when he's getting stuck, but not put him in uncomfortable situations that force him to be overstimulated. There is a delicate balance, but it requires awareness and communication and a sense of humbleness and humiliation that is just not common or not taught to be allowed because we are so prideful and because we are so competitive with each other.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I feel like when you was talking about your school having this fucking fishing team come and tell y'all about competition, they was kind of stupid for that because only competitors understand competition. If you're not a competitor, well, to you it just sounds like an attack or something that you can't even understand or relate to. So for them to be doing that, that's like putting everybody in a box, like you saying, and it takes away from competitors. you know, if you over here competing, that's your world. People over here doing what they doing, that's their world. But at the end of the day, there needs to be like clear communication for sure. Like you said, communication will make a huge difference in the long run. Because I just think a lot of people avoid shit out of fear,
Absolutely.
that's all this shit is taught. This is just fucking. It's all this is just brainwash shit to make people who aren't the big dog, aren't the competitive one, to feel like they just That's why we got all this fucking red pill versus blue pill, man against woman, gay against straight, whatever the fuck it might be. I don't really be paying attention to that shit, but just
It's bullshit divide.
races and all that shit.
It's bullshit divide.
Conquer and divide.
Like, oh, don't look at me. Look over there.
It's a reason for people to.
That's your problem. That's who's
Exactly.
attacking you. It's not me, the rich white guy, that's
Shit.
taking your stuff away. It's that guy, the hardworking person who's just trying to provide for his family. That's who you respect. And this is what I'm gonna point out in Enigma. It's the cult brainwashing of churches and religion. It's the insanity of corporate society. Now, I am straight up putting the camera to how they farm us and use us and drain us for their power. There's the literal power team where you run on a treadmill until you circulate enough units of power to, I don't know, validate your existence. And it is that constant competition and stuff. And it's one of the reasons why it's been so hard for me to put myself in the world of Enigma is because I have to put myself in that aggressive oppressor mentality. When I'm writing Rainbros, there is societal pressure. There's some villain shit, but I have camaraderie, I have chaos goblins, and I have things that bring levity to the situation. In Enigma, the first few chapters are going to be very heavy and very difficult for me to write, but it is going to be a big part of the driving force for the stories and the characters. So it's something that I have to do.
Yeah, this shit already a banger, yo. This shit already this the first recording too, so
Yeah.
definitely gotta bang like this. Gotta come at them hard. No more sucker shit. If you hiding, don't hide no more. This is the tribe of misfits. Come take your world back with us.
Absolutely. We are weirdos and we are here to
You
stay.
feel me? You dig? No more sucker shit, man. We gotta come together and start talking to each other. That's funny though, man. I think now more off grid shit like this gonna start popping up where motherfuckers just don't care no more. But
No,
I don't know.
absolutely. That's where
I
I'm
don't know.
going.
Yeah, same. Shit, you know me. That's all I be on. If I'm not here to speak for the ones, like that's the thing. Like all the people who scared, y'all can be scared. Just come holler at me. I'll talk for you. I ain't scared of none. I ain't scared of shit out here, bro. The shit that I done seen and experienced. I'm a motherfucking general, so come holler at the general if you scared to voice something. We can make something happen. But man, you know me. That's why we meet all
Every week we can, man.
here. Yeah, ain't nobody finna be talking to Venom like that. You see that one time, man.
What's his face?
When Tim was over there talking crazy, boy, we stormed his ass. Yeah,
I was
man, we
thinking about
stormed
that
his ass
shit
like
the
some
other
boxing.
day.
He ain't going for that shit.
You know, dead ass.
Yo, we just went live recently.
I have never had someone defend me.
Nah, bro, we come in swarming like the killer bees, man. We don't fuck around. Especially if people that's like the fam. Yeah, we coming in swarming. Y'all better get y'all mind right. We ain't letting this shit go by. All the real fucking warriors gonna protect the people, man. We don't give a fuck. That's my cousin, bro. By the way, so I ain't. So I'm like, we'll swarm on family if it come down to it, cause we already done said it multiple times, man. If you, we don't give a fuck if you family or not, man. If you go against the tribe, bro, you the enemy. You know what I'm saying? You the motherfucking enemy, and we'll kill your ass off, nigga. Especially if you're the motherfucking enemy towards people that are important to the tribe. So
I think that's
yeah, man.
one thing.
People always want to be on the front line.
People want to be on the front line, so they have to take responsibility. So they have to put their name and put their ass on. Yeah, exactly. So they got to put their ass on the line. That's another thing that gets people in that analysis paralysis and that lockjaw of entrepreneurship and development and stuff, you know? The consequences and repercussions.
You sound like old buddy from Friday.
Yeah, that's
Big Worm.
I love Friday.
Damn.
I want $10,000.
Hell yeah. But we can settle out of court for a 40 ounce. Yo, you know what's crazy? They talking about coming out with another Friday movie, the last Friday.
If it doesn't have Ice Cube or Ice Cube's kid in it, it's not gonna work. That's the entire point of the Friday. It has to have Ice Cube in it. Like, okay, so
he directing it. Yeah.
You know how I love Snakes?
That's like his franchise exclusively.
Yeah, that is like when you think Friday, you think Ice Cube, and when you think Ice Cube, you think Friday. And Barbershop.
But yeah. Facts, Barbershop for sure. I love that movie too. So what about these snakes, yo? You say you love snakes.
I recently, like a month ago, watched Anaconda for the first time.
Oh my gosh. Yo. If that shit used to be like mad scary until you see it now.
Oh my god, no, dude. I was laughing my ass off the entire time when Owen Wilson died. Oh wow.
Yeah.
It was so fake. I gonna do this hair?
That shit is crazy. That man, like, that whole movie was just junk to me now. But the first time I seen it, I was like young. I was a jit for real, so I was like, damn, that's big as fuck. And for some reason, though, I still was like fascinated by anacondas. I was like, I don't remember what zoo I went to. I had to be when I was here in Europe, but yeah, they had a big ass snake like that in that bit. It's like, yo, I'm trying to be friends with a snake.
Being Harry Potter.
Trying to die low key.
No,
Yeah, right.
if
It's
you
funny.
get
I
a
used to always say
random
I was the
call,
universal tongue.
if you get a random call from some rainforest that some white woman went missing, it was probably me. I was probably going out to find my people.
White woman gone missing. Tried to befriend snakes, especially anacondas. Damn,
No,
that sound
it
like
do that.
kind of fuck. Let me call her mom.
The hog noses and blue beauties. I disappeared in Vietnam trying to get some rat snakes. No.
So she done got gobbled up. She done got ate up by the
Died the
goddamn
way she wanted to go.
right. Remember her well.
Which that I am.
Facts. Now she a part of the pantheon now.
Dead ass though.
Senior Master Vanna now.
I ain't trying to claim something that might
Release the
not be.
offerings in the woods.
You leave offerings of moss and fried chicken
Nah,
sandwiches.
facts. I'm gonna bring you some KFC drumsticks to your.
No, not KFC. Every time I've gone to a KFC for the past 20 years, every single state, no KFC
Shit
ever
got you
has
bubbling.
chicken. No, they never have chicken. I can't even get me bubbling. They never have chicken. I don't know why. I'm hurt. Chicken from a KFC.
So where you be going, like Popeyes?
Bojangles mostly. I have a beef with the Popeyes
Oh,
here.
oh shit.
I have a beef with the Popeyes here.
Fuck them.
They were rude to Mama.
Well, this shit done went left, man.
Does it ever
He
go
said I
right?
got a beef with Popeyes. That's sad. Man, look, it can't be right. That's Popeyes spicy chicken, man, and the biscuit with some fries. Let me get a
The
two.
Cajun fries. Cajun fries.
Oh my gosh, yes, man.
That's
All
one thing
right,
that Popeyes.
we can stop sounding fat. I'm just getting hungry by the second.
I'm a habit.
Talking
Okay,
about that good ass chicken.
actual work shit.
What?
So Mama's gonna finish her animatic this weekend and get to moving on production and promotion. That's the fucking word. Promotion of the book. I think it'd
Yeah,
be
it's
cool
gonna be fun.
with lifestyle.
Yeah.
I think
Yes.
that would be.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
I want.
That shit would be amazing. Fuck yeah. Even if it's just with me, I don't give a fuck. Whatever she feel comfortable doing.
Comfortable doing it with you. I don't know how comfortable she would feel meeting other people.
Man, I got so many hosts now. Ali don't even really be hosting no more. Shit. Like he might come in and do one. Shit, I have a host named Sasha now. Then I have Victoria and Patrick. They pretty much do most of the content now. Sometimes
Okay.
I basically just moderate it. I don't even. Yeah, Ali don't. Me and him sometimes do futurism news. Like I have to record that shit today by myself. But that's how we wanted it. Eventually, we'll pop up here and there, but really, it's just getting to a point now where he'll come in, say some stuff once in a blue moon, and then it's just me and whoever else is hosting. Sometimes I'm not even there. I'm just in the background pressing buttons. Some real shit. But our numbers been going fucking crazy. Honestly, nah, I want to be the face of this shit. So I've been working more just honestly just sit in the camera sometimes and watch people
cute. Might record
That's
something
it.
later.
Literally like nothing else. Yeah, you feel me? I swear that's literally what I be saying.
I'm just seeing
I
you
literally say that shit.
like kicking your feet like a teenage girl on the phone in a fucking 1980s cartoon.
You dig? Nah, you. That's the essence, bro. That's my essence right now. I'm feeling cute. Might record something later for real. I mean, shit. I do futurism news damn near by myself now, so I be getting on there talking, and people be like, "Yo, this some crazy shit." But I know how to make that shit hit too.
Yeah, but that is also a
I be
big point
watching
of this.
all the Ali old stuff.
Ah.
Hell yeah.
Dude, the shorts that are coming up on Lifestyle 5 2.0 is simultaneously hilarious and so fucking cringy. Like, looking back on myself from just like a year or so ago, I could be like, wow, I have grown so much in my confidence. Because, like, when I first started with the podcast and stuff, you guys, I felt like I needed to make my voice known and make my so I said a lot of out of pocket shit and did a lot of the things that I did in school when I felt like I was disappearing or I needed to like make my presence known to my classmates and stuff. And I feel like I've done a lot of healing in that since then, but I still talk a lot. Like when I joined Miss Asha's workshop the other week, she had like stopped me 3 separate times on springs that I just would not stop. I like to talk and I have a lot to
I
talk
mean,
about.
that's the reason why we fuck with your shit though. Like people people do that shit. That's what it is. If you don't have any like fucking, you know, broadcasting training and shit, you're just gonna do that anyway. Especially if there's like no one that's just actively like, hey, shut the fuck up. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I know I'm not finna do that shit because I'm trying to hear what you're saying.
Yeah, I felt
But
like
you know, everything is for clicks and likes.
yeah, I don't want to feel like I'm overshadowing someone or being like a narcissistic attention grabber. And I'm well aware, like I've had conversations with Mama about that, my own fears of narcissistic tendencies because I see similarities in my father. The very fact that I have awareness of not wanting to act like that is a sign that that's not really what it is. I feel like it's just a lot more of damaged ego of someone who just wanted to be accepted and seen. And I've done a lot of healing. And I feel like you have been a large part of that because you've given me a lot of confidence and space to be confident that I just simply did not
Hell
have.
yeah.
So
I
I
believe in what you got going on, and I know you can do shit. Fuck yeah. I don't want you out here thinking that you less than for real, cause it's very easy for, especially doing what we do,
mm-hmm.
it's easy to get fucking discouraged fast as fuck, so fast. I mean, it literally takes 1 second, cause you see everybody else doing one thing, and you're like, damn, why my shit ain't like this? But it's like, nah, bro.
Exactly
You
what
come back to center,
what we were
lock
saying
in,
earlier
talk
about
to
the
your people.
comparison and competition between people. It puts you in this place to where you're constantly trying to do something more and you're not allowing yourself to actually learn from what you just did.
Yeah, really come down to it. I think that's why it's always good to just talk. You know, if me and you talk, we kind of lay it all out on the table, and then we just kind of pick at it and see, like, okay, well, obviously not everything's gonna be fucking beautiful here, but you know, what can we turn this puzzle piece of jumbled up mess into, like, to make a full picture that both of us can be like at the end, like, wow, this turned out. I like this puzzle. You know, this a picture of a landscape. Wow, look at the trees and stuff.
Yeah.
Sometimes
They got to go through the failure and the hurt of it, and it's so much easier just to instant gratification, man. But yeah, it's definitely a challenge to choose to be overtly authentic and different because you have so many things that come up in a constant counter to your very existence. So, like, yeah, there are those moments where I get discouraged, and there are times where I feel like I don't have the right to be talking about something. Like, this is one thing that I've run into with VTA, my podcast with my friend Kimmy, is like I, as an earth sign and earth witch, have so much of my power in the waking world and the energy around me. Whereas my mother and Kimmy are Pisces, and these are more naturally connected to psychic gifts. And so we have an episode coming up on our podcast that we have to record where we talk about like other world, astral projection, things like that. And I was like wrestling with this feeling of like I don't really have a right to talk about any of that. And that's complete bullshit because I do. But like even I run into moments like that. And I'm very grateful that I have Mama and Kimmy and you that'd be like, get off that stupid shit. You forget that you're awesome? Do you forget that you've literally alchemized more pain in 25 years of your life than people will do in 60, 70, 80 years? And again, that's
Yeah.
not a comparison to make me feel like a superior individual.
I mean, you gotta really just always tell you all the time. Just be damn near non-existent. Whatever the fuck people want to label it as, a win is a win, and celebrate, revel in that shit because that's just for yourself. You know, most of the time in entrepreneurship, when you do get a win, you're like, oh, I can't stop and celebrate because I gotta keep moving to the next thing. And I'm guilty of this shit myself. But
Hmm?
no matter what, I do take times off. I do, you know, I talk to my family, and I'm just like, hey, I did this today, y'all. I'm about to not do jack shit today because I did this, and we're gonna go get some fucking burgers or something. I don't fucking know, just whatever. Go buy a cake, go get a sandwich, simple shit. You know, I'm fat, so it don't really take much for me. And you give me a sandwich after I did something good, I'm like my tail is wagging like happy dog status. So I
Facts.
just try to always make sure that I'm doing stuff to show myself the appreciation to my body at least, so that my mental can understand too. Like, hey, nice, you got that sandwich you love. That's gonna make you twice as happy and twice as more inspired.
No, absolutely. That lack of recognition through the process is one thing that has been so stressful and straining on Mama through this public process. Because like every little thing, she wouldn't allow herself to celebrate. Like, yeah, I got the copyright application in. I got the LCCN application in. I got my ISBN number. And I understand in her mindset because she was just focusing on the end goal of the actual publication, which needed to happen, and a deadline was coming up. And so I would be like my character Aiden in Rainbros, like a little sprinkling of positivity and be a reminder to her at the end of the day, no, I'm proud of you. You did a really good thing today, and you handled the
Mm-hmm.
frustrations really well. That's one thing I want to remind her of a lot is how she handles frustrations. Thank you, Mama. She just brought me popcorn chicken.
Oh shit! Shout out to popcorn chicken though, the best.
Yeah. People are entirely too hard on themselves because of the standards that we hold for ourselves and hold against ourselves. And again, I'm guilty of this myself. I'm not saying anything here that I am not myself felt and toiled and battled with.
Experience.
the entire journey of a shaman is to lead from a
Mm-hmm.
place of self-experience.
Say it, Nikki.
Shaman can't heal you. They teach you how to heal yourself through their own experience. Take what resonates and leave the rest. I think that phrase alone, as well as do your best until you know better and then do better, have been two phrases that have changed my mindset and energy towards myself, work, and so many other things. So, like, yeah, there are a lot of things that, like, even in drawing, that I made simple mistakes of, but I didn't know those things. And it's like, you remember Spyro and the Speedway levels they would have?
Yeah, yeah, them shits was OD his fuck.
Those
I
things
love
were
that game though.
so
I
fucking
had
good.
almost all of them.
So fucking good. Ripto's Rage
Yes,
was the shit.
yes, yes,
Uh,
yes. Oh man, yes. Hey man,
you want to get
special
Mama,
shout out to whoever came up with this game.
you want to get Mama on one, start talking about Ripto's Rage. um, but on the Speedway levels,
Bet.
I would watch my brothers get so frustrated when they would lose or they would get hit. And I'd be like, but you know how to get through that better now. You can go through it better now. And that got annoying to them. But it was just always my mentality to try to find the single bit of good from a situation. And no, it wasn't easy, and it got labeled as
Nah.
toxic positivity a lot, but it was my mentality. It was my mentality and the mindset that I have the ability to take from something what I will. What will I take from the situation?
Transmutation.
Alchemization, motherfuckers.
You feel me?
That's what I'm becoming a
Out here,
master of.
it don't stop. It's not we doing some magical, super magical power. Like nah, son, it's way deeper than that.
Oh, absolutely. But it does feel cool as shit sometimes. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, yeah. You feel me? I mean, it also I don't know about anybody out there who might stumble across this video, but whenever I'm dealing with my personal will, my great work, I always feel like my best self because I feel like I'm honoring not only myself but all of those who come before me who are rooting for me and coming to me when I call onto them for any guidance to help others with as well. So I always do feel my best when I'm dealing with my great work and my true will. It's a good feeling.
It really is, and it's that's what I call living in that soul shine, when you just feel that warmth and radiance through
Mm,
you, and you are doing something for no other reason than the joy that it brings you.
some real shit, man. Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure what next week
Yo,
is
this
gonna.
got to be the fastest hour in history, bro.
Always, man. Our shit could go on forever.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I'm not
Nah,
sure.
facts, because I just feel like it's only been 20 minutes, bro.
Seriously, I'm looking at the time lapse and I'm like, 58 minutes. What the hell? I'm not sure what work is gonna look like for me next week. Um, I want to make some promotional pictures to integrate into the YouTube post, because on Monday I have to do the YouTube post for the next month and just pre-schedule them all away. But I'm gonna make like some pictures with my bracelets and other pieces and stuff, and just drop them throughout in hopes that that brings some more attention to the website and stuff. Uh, I want to try some new reading styles. The one where I was just like casually in my bed and I didn't even plan to record that reading. It was the one that I was doing myself. That one did really well because I just did a quick explanation of the surmise rather than in tuning it directly. And so I wonder if that might be one way that I should mix up some of my readings. I know Mama's got a lot with her um, promotion. I don't know why that word is so hard for me to remember. She's got a lot with her promotion prep and stuff going on. So I'm not entirely sure what I'm doing or have time to do. I definitely enjoy it. Definitely think that we should do
Yeah, yeah. No, we're gonna make as many of these. I mean, until the internet blows up or we blow up first. I don't mind doing this every time we
that.
decide
Yeah,
to do
whatever
one.
happens first.
I think as time goes on, this will be like us capturing all of the, the behind. This is behind the scenes. You feel me? Like people will look back on this like, damn, this is what brought it all together, and now it's like this big thing.
Yeah,
So
this is, I think,
I'm
what a
looking
lot.
forward to.
This,
Nah, go ahead.
yeah,
What you
sorry.
were saying?
This is what I think, like a lot of people don't see in their own entrepreneurial journey. Like the admittance of, like, yeah, I struggled with that. That's one place that I didn't know what to do. But I think coming from people who are just like have repeatedly come against challenges and not even faced them and defeated them right away. Like we have been put down, we have been wounded, but there is a recovery, there is a bounce back, and it is often strong. And I really hope that is going to be an inspiration.
Yeah, everybody watching, definitely. I hope that you're inspired and took something away from this. And of course, watching this art being created is like, for me, like I always say, is pretty peaceful. This shit is the part of my week. Like, imagine I'm going hard all fucking week, and then me and Vanna talk, and she's doing this while we're talking. And most of the time, I'm just sitting here just watching, like her just take what's in her brain and put it in front of me, and I've seen her do this multiple times. So to me, this is like the ultimate shit because it just, I always talk about proof of concept, but to me, this is like that coming to life in front of me, and I'm always excited to see people's ideas coming to life because sometimes a little support can go a long way.
Absolutely.
Just being here and we just shooting the shit. You tell me your business ideas or what you got going on in your personal life, and I'm just here to listen. I don't really try to say too much unless I mean, like we're low key like siblings damn near. So I would say most of our conversations are just gonna be like two siblings talking. You feel me?
That's what I fucking feel, man. Like I just got a brother, and this one's the least annoying.
Yeah. You feel me?
Yeah,
Like
absolutely.
it's really like the best dynamic for both of us because we both get to learn and at the same time we both bring peace to each other's lives. I feel super relaxed after these sessions, and 9 times out of 10 I usually have to go to another meeting right after this, so it's usually like at least I feel better going into those other meetings because I go from having these conversations to talking about fucking business jargon. What are the numbers like? Blah blah blah. You have a marketing campaign, and
Yeah.
that shit can be a little dense at times.
And our conversations are like, remember Anaconda when that one guy got thrown up by the snake?
You feel me? Like it's great because I go into it with a way better fucking attitude. Like, okay, well I just got done talking about Ice Cube movies with Vanna. Like this meeting ain't gonna be horrible. I'll be fine. I just think about how old buddy got his ass fucking ripped apart by this anaconda. So
And
shit is great.
same, I'll be able to go back into my completely chaotic day, and like the problems are still there, but like I have a better energy going into it, and even if we weren't able to come up with a solution to the problems, getting it out of my head moves so much
Yeah.
like I said, I feel energy physically. I might actually burp here in a minute because I feel energy coming up through my chest and throat and heart chakra saying this. Uh, but I feel so much better after these meetings just because I was able to come and talk and vent about something that was a struggle for me, and I know I'm not gonna get judgment, and I'm not gonna get like, oh, she'll be like, hey, did you know that Vanna said this shit? No, he's not a catty bitch like that.
Nah, I don't really be. Most of the time, if it's a meeting that I'm having with somebody that I'm mentoring, I don't really talk about my meetings. Like, I might be like, yo, I talked to Vanna today, and she was just being silly. Like, that's usually the farthest that shit'll go. But talking about even deeper personal stuff, like this is all of these meetings are private, so
No, not
I
anymore.
mean, it's at least that's how it's supposed to be. I don't know about y'all motherfuckers, but well, yeah, not anymore. Not if we fucking recording and putting it out on the internet. But even then, like this shit will help somebody, so I ain't mad at it. But
I mean,
I'll keep
it's
my shit
helping me,
private. I don't
so.
put my shit out there. Yeah. Plus, you can go back and like, oh damn, nugget. So, but shit, I guess this a wrap for this one.
Yeah, we got other
Now we
things
ain't
to
doing
do.
no call to action or nothing.
Nah, go read my
Call to
Substack.
action. Yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, Vanna got a Substack. Yeah, go check it.
I'm
Yeah, go
sharing my
check it out.
writings. Yeah, this
Yeah,
story
you can
actually.
type in Soulshine, right?
No, it's Vanna Scroggins. Because I had
Oh
when
shit,
when
she
make
using the government on y'all ass.
not even the government. That would be Savannah. I'm still using.
Damn, she done went fatty on y'all ass. Fatty wise.
I've said my name on my channel before. What is the moving van that is happening?
Right.
Are you in a fucking moving truck? What
Sounds
is that? Oh, Artemis is
who?
outside. You! I just hear metal clashing.
Oh no, that's a plastic bag. That's a grocery bag.
She was suddenly in a shipping
That shit
container.
probably is loud as fuck. Yeah,
Yeah,
hell.
it sounded like metal sheets dropping.
Damn. Well, and there you have it, folks. Thanks for watching. Thanks
That
for
is
watching this
chaos.
episode.
Alright. Right as blessings, everybody.
This shit ended so funny.
Alright. I'm gonna look forward to listening to this back with the music that's been playing this whole time on YouTube.
Yeah, I wonder. It's gonna probably be trippy as fuck. I'm gonna go look at it on YouTube.
Yeah, let me know if it's too pitchy. I'll just take out the music next time if it is. That was a.
All right, bet.
Alright. Love you, man. Meet next week. And if anything.